another one. So, never done this before, experimenting. I tried editing a video. It's kind of hard on the phone in CapCut, but vProgs, I saw that Pavel from Eager was saying that they need to work on ZK and Mev, and Michael Sutton saying he's working pretty much on vProgs, and that's pretty much I think where him and Jonathan are at. Jonathan had his presentation talking about 100 blocks per second. I saw that Cat Daddy in his video was talking about how the CAF was saying that a lot of people in Caspa were deleting their accounts, and Binance reached out to them to see if they can stop people from deleting their accounts. And you can check out his video. He talks more about it, but I'm gonna see if there's any. But yeah, so there's a lot going on right now in the market. Just trying to see what's going on here. You have the Trump administration talking about the potential next future Fed chair. You have Kevin Hassett basically shot up to like 81% or something on Poly Market, and he is a low interest growth model type guy, so that could be huge. I mean, that could be really big. So, and then if you look at the interest rate cuts for next week, that shot up to like 89-90% on Poly Market. I'm trying to see where you can see the chats. Maybe there's no chats here. Just seeing if you can see the chats. I guess maybe no one's chatted. So you have Bank of America, I guess, starting to put, or you know, their advisor, suggesting 1 to 4% of their allocation into Bitcoin and crypto. Vanguard, who is not letting their clients have access to the ETF products for crypto, Bitcoin, are starting to give that, push the IBIT out there. So that's huge. It seems like there's a lot of adoption. I guess, hello, what do you think about Caspix L2 network? I think that it seems like it's working fine. I know Shy had a big problem with it. I used it a little bit. Just seems like, I don't know, just I don't. I like to experiment at least and play around with some of that stuff, but then I don't want to waste a lot of money at this point. I've made my plays into basically a meme coin, Caspa, and Bitcoin, and I think that all those other things, they're just the stuff goes up like and then it goes down. It's hard to make money on those, and sometimes it just pops up right at the beginning, at the end. Hoyness said hi. Thanks for tuning in. Um, so yeah, with vProgs and everything, the market, we don't know the future. Potentially, it could be going. I mean, any direction. I don't think that the chance that the cycle is over is 0%. I personally think that some of the macroeconomic conditions, the quantitative tightening, now doesn't mean we're just going right into quantitative easing. It just feels like somewhere they're going to have to print a lot of money, and you have a lot of people in administration that are pushing things that can help the overall space out. With Caspa, the Binance, I mean, I know that some of the people say that those layer ones, it's the UTXO model of Caspa or something is making it difficult for them to list, but I just don't see that. I mean, look at all the small exchanges that have listed Caspa. Kraken's listed it. Apparently HTX is coming soon. But like MEXC and stuff, Gate.io, I mean, what, those guys have less resources than Binance? This doesn't. Um, After the vProgs is successfully launched, we'll have impact on layer 2 of the ecosystem. I think Egra is working on, I think, is working on a layer 2 that could be integrated with vProgs. Casplex L2 might not, if vProgs come out and are successful, Casplex L2 might not be successful, or it could impact it. I think I would go with vProgs, and but successful projects. If there are some successful projects on Casplex L2, they might bridge over and be incorporated with the vProg type of stuff once that comes out. But yeah, the that it just depends on how the cycle goes. It's different. Like in one video, I talked about how Bitcoin's done some things for the first time, and uh, someone was saying, yeah, it never hit 20,000 in 2017. I think it only hit like 19,500, and then it hit 9,000 in 2021. But after the 2021 bull run, the bear market, the first time in history it ever went down the previous cycle's top, which shouldn't have went under 19,500 or whatever. It did. It went down to 16,000 or whatever. Never hit an all-time high before the halving. Did that. The seasonality is not playing out like it has been, so we're kind of in uncharted territory uh, as far as it goes with this cycle. And that's really what matters. Is if Bitcoin just keeps, if it goes down, then that's not going to be good for any of the L2s or anything. But I personally think it feels like the macroeconomic conditions are going to be favorable, and we just have to wait and see how that goes. And it may work out pretty good. If I don't know how long the vProg stuff, if that's something that could come out like in the summer, October next year, or is it something you're looking at the first quarter? I don't know. It doesn't seem like first quarter is going to happen. So, yeah, on vacation, I still like making videos. The family's sleeping middle of the day. We're over here in Hawaii, having some fun, and it seems like there's just a lot of positive stuff going on in the crypto space, even though the prices are not doing good. And it's interesting because people say Casper doesn't need Binance, but at some point, for something to be one of the biggest players in the space, they're going to have BlackRock involved. There's going to be paper, Casper, Bitcoin. You're going to have all the exchanges. And can you afford Peaksy Boo? Can you afford vacation in this market? Barely, my friend, barely. But I haven't taken one since May of 2024, so it was long overdue. And sometimes you got to go away, enjoy things, makes you appreciate home. But yeah, the market's been rough. Overall, my investing career, I'm up, but I'm down a lot from the peak, this bull market peak. And that's where, my uncle first bought Bitcoin when it was $750, and then it crashed to 250, and then went up to 19,000 something. In 2017, he sold a couple, went back down. He passed away basically at the bottom of the bear market at the end of 2022. But it's uh, it's not an easy road when that volatility is going up and down a lot, and most people can't handle that. And even when you've been in it for a while and you know it's coming and you still believe in everything, it's still tough watching the portfolio go up and down. And but personally, just one person's opinion that doesn't carry that much weight. I feel like some of these macroeconomic conditions that the Republicans are going to try to pump the markets to win the midterms, and there's going to be a new Fed chair. The rate cuts are like 90%. Well, you had ones in September, the market went up to highs in October, and then the end of October, there's another rate cut, markets went down. There's a lot of factors, some manipulation, but you see like Fidelity, or not Fidelity, but Vanguard, and then you have um, Bank of America. It just seems like a lot of things are falling into place. The price action's not falling. And with Caspa, there could be a lot of good listings. And then if vProgs catches on, and that video that Cat Daddy was making, it shows how powerful community can be if you start deleting accounts, and uh, and then that forces Binance to try to reach out to. And you can't stop people in a decentralized community. You can't stop people from doing that kind of stuff. So thanks, Florin, for tuning in. The little bit. This is the first time I've ever done a live stream on my phone. I've done some on the computer, quite a few of them actually, but never on my phone. This is yeah. I guess you could ask questions and answers, polls. I guess. Yeah, the CASPA nodes, 1,000 nodes is another milestone. I haven't talked about that, but that's huge. Now, I'm not a huge fan of all these ones that are flux nodes popping up, but that's just me. I think it's better if you're running your own computer. And I think that if you can run your own computer, it's better. But I guess if you can run one through Flux, that's better than not having one. This feels like it's stronger if it's not using cloud computing or someone else's computing. If you can run your own node, that would be huge. And that's a huge milestone. You need that. I do think that the home mining too, where some of those people have those KS3s or whatever, and they're just mining at home, helps with decentralization. That's helped with the going to 10 blocks per second is helping with the small miners, helping power the network. But I guess that's all I got. Don't want to ramble on here too long, but it's there's a lot going on with, and it takes time. The vProgs aren't going to come out. That seems like that Dagnite potentially 100 blocks per second, which doesn't seem like, and ZK rollups, all this different stuff, and then that's just in the Caspa community, some potentially good listings, and then you have macroeconomic conditions where it feels like that the money, you know, the money is liquidity, and it's like a aqueduct, and the system needs money and liquidity floating around the aqueduct, and if it's not, then the system starts to break, and it feels like that they're going to have to start increasing liquidity to keep those aqueducts flowing. Thanks, Florin. Uh, I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate everyone tuning in, and yeah, well, I think I'm going to sign off here, but yeah, thanks for everyone tuning in, and let's just enjoy this ride. And I think a lot of us, if it works out the way we think, it's going to be good. So thanks for watching, and have a good day.